One of the Aaron Austin Show's favorite sponsors is R&J Discount Liquor. We find they have the best selection of bourbons and whiskeys probably in town.
Yeah, make sure you get with Dustin in there. That guy knows his stuff. He'll always point you in the right direction, and everything they got there is always at a good price. It's at Douglas and Hillside. Anytime you need some booze, go on down to R&J's. Appliance Nerd, if you have any trouble with your appliances, get with 316-807-7498. Having appliance trouble sucks, and buying all new equipment is no fun either. So get with Appliance Nerd, and maybe they can get you fixed up and going again.
All Out Detox has 3 great locations in Wichita. Go check them out for 2 for $10 drug tests every day. They've been in business for 15 years, so you know you can trust them. Go all in with All Out Detox. Janelle over at Suburbs and Sass is Aaron and Austin Show's official merch provider, and I've been super impressed.
I've been super impressed too. She really has awesome merch, from glasses to t-shirts to sunglasses. If you really want to get down with us, we got those for you too as well.
If you want some custom merch, go check out Janelle at Suburbs and Sass. Hit up the Aaron and Austin Show about our merch. Sacred Leaf is Wichita's favorite CBD store in town. Go check out Nikki. Tell her that the Aaron and Austin Show sent you. For the best selection of gummies and the highest possible legal THC that you can find in Wichita, go check out Sacred Leaf.
Whiskey Dick's definitely an Aaron and Austin Show favorite. Get out there anytime. They have specials every day on food and drinks. They got happy hour from 3 to 6. And how many whiskeys they got in that place, Aaron?
I think they have the most whiskeys in town. And every Monday you can do any whiskey under $25 a shot for half price.
I think there's 700 plus in that building or something like that.
Probably so. Be sure you visit the Jukebox on Seneca and Walker. They have great daily drink specials and karaoke and live music on the weekends. Go check out the Jukebox.
PK Pest Management. For all your pest control needs, get with Austin or contact 316-305-7108. And it's also fly season, so if you need that fly spray, get with me. Everybody loves Angie's Tacos, so get down to the Cowboy Inn at noon on Tuesdays, and now starting at the Shamrock Inn at 6 o'clock on Wednesdays.
On Tuesdays, you can usually find the Aaron and Austin Show hanging out at the Cowboy Inn. It's one of our favorite sponsors. Every Tuesday, they have an open mic there hosted by Jacoby Lee Winter.
So get down and check us out on Tuesday nights and check out the Cowboy Inn all the time.
Diaper Jam 2025. We don't have a whole lot of details yet, but go check it out. Every time, it's been a great night, benefiting a great cause. Lots of really good local music.
We'll probably be at Bourbon Street again this year. Get ready for Diaper Jam 2025.
Bring diapers.
Make sure you get out to 42 Below. They got 2 great locations. They're out west on Tyler in the downtown. They got a lot of creative and local glass. They got a glass blower in the back. They got a lot going on in that building. Make sure that you get everything 42 Below. Right at 7. Annie nailed it. Annie nails it. Sticks the landing.
Yeah.
Sticks the landing.
Episode 124, y'all.
Yeah, at 124. We'll get into that real quick. We gotta thank Papa C's Barbecue. He's a new sponsor for us. He got with us via Facebook, and he's giving us a little bit of food every Tuesday. We had a great meal today. Aaron, what did we get today? What was in there?
Oh, shoots, man. We had them cheddar bobs.
Yeah, that's I couldn't remember the name of those.
So it's like mashed potatoes stuffed with cheese and then deep fried.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you dip it in a cheese sauce.
Yeah.
So that's just American as you can get almost.
It's just awesome. He gave us some ribs. He gave us some greens. And his greens, instead of like usually I get those with like neck bones and like there's different bones that go in greens, you know?
Yeah.
And this seemed like he has like some brisket, some rib meat, something in there. Like
fucking good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good, but different than the greens I get. I guess.
Yeah, different. A different spin on greens for sure, but really tasty.
Real good mac and cheese.
Yep. And
and
he's got
the cheddar jalapeno biscuits were
everything we tried
legit.
tried from the man was nice. We appreciate new sponsors all the time. We always appreciate our old sponsors. Everybody that sponsors us at R&J's, we love you. We appreciate it. We got George Dickel in the house from R&J's tonight. We appreciate that, and our Rumplemints.
Yeah.
But so we've got some new stuff starting at the Hideout. This is episode 124. It's movie night here, and it's I'm excited. We talk a lot of music here at the Aaron and Austin Show, and it's kind of nice to do something a little different, talk movies. And so, Aaron, tell us what we are starting to do at the Hideout, and you can kind of introduce these guys all at the same time.
Yeah, so a buddy of mine, Trevor Vincent Farney, posted on Facebook that he had just got this movie done and was really excited about it. And so I hit him up like, what movie are you talking about? And so he connected me to you guys. It's really cool what you guys are doing, man. A very flattened Christmas. And the more I talk to you, the more I learn that this is a this goes back a little bit. It has some history to it. Has some things going on. But every Saturday in October at the Hyde Out, we're going to show this movie. We're going to do it twice a day, and it's real limited seating. So be sure to get tickets. There's online ticket portals.
And what are we doing down there at the Hideout? Because we kind of had the stage. What's the look going to look like for the screen there?
Yeah, so we haven't got it all figured out yet, but I think I know what we're trying to do. So
are we going to pull the stage a little bit?
Yeah, we're definitely going to pull the stage, buy us a little bit more room for seats.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a silver paint. Like back in the day, it was called the silver screen because it was like literally silver. Like it was that reflective. And so and that's what gave a really good picture. That's why they call it a silver screen. So we found this paint that does the same thing. It's like silver impregnated paint.
Is that the stuff we used over at the school?
Exactly the same stuff.
Okay,
and it's super cool. It's super like high fidelity.
Because we tried to do this at
images
another building where we started to do some like indie movie night type stuff, and now we're starting to finally get that going again. Basically, is what we're doing, right?
Yep, totally.
So this is kind of the first what we're putting in the room down there.
At the school, I had this really cool screen. It was like this when a band was playing, and it had soundproofing underneath it, and then you could lower it, and it would be the screen.
Nice,
right? So it was dope. But this one, I think what we're going to do is we're going to paint the wall behind us, and then have a curtain that comes out like old school.
Beautiful.
Open the curtain,
of course,
for the movie.
Beautiful.
You know,
that's awesome.
You got to open it like 3 ridiculous times for no reason.
really slow. Have the dancing concessions intermission. Yeah,
all right, so introduce your guys self. You guys are the writer and director of a Very Flattened
Producer and director. I'm producer. I'm also in the film. My name's Key Tawn Toothman. This is Shane Wallace. Shane, you can introduce yourself, I guess.
Yeah, I'm Shane Wallace. I directed the film. As Key said, he produced it and
awesome.
Helped create it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so actually what was it, 2016, 2017?
Yeah.
Sometime around there, we did a series called Flattened. And it was on YouTube for a little while. It's getting ready to come out on like Amazon and a few other things. Hopefully around the same time that the film will.
Hell yeah.
And so basically this movie picks up kind of 6 years after that series. It was a 6-episode, right? It was 6-episode series. It's the core cast. Everyone's back in the film, and
so this is the cast from Flattened.
From Flattened,
from the series.
That's right. Yes, that's
awesome.
right.
Awesome.
Yep, and that's why it's called A Very Flattened Christmas. You know,
right?
That's because right. Shane, I don't know. Maybe you could say a little bit more about it.
Yeah, it was a comedy, and we kept hearing from people, when are you bringing back Flattened? When are you bringing back Flattened? And I thought it'd be funny to bring it back in a different way rather than just, hey, here's, a movie version. And I like the idea of just throwing these characters in a genre picture. And Key was like, hey, let's do horror. I'm like, that's a great idea.
So Flattened wasn't always horror, but it was always comedy.
No, it was a comedy series.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we talking like a 30-minute comedy series, like 25 minutes?
Yeah, around
series?
there. It's really in the vein of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Workaholics, that kind of thing.
What was the backdrop? Where was it filmed at? Like,
so it was all here in Wichita, and it's this roadkill collection crew because, as you know, when you drive around Wichita, we see so much roadkill. We all live in our cars.
Okay.
And so that was kind of...
So there's Flattened. That's what.
Flattened.
Okay, that's how we tie that together.
Absolutely.
It comes together. I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we were like, yeah, let's throw these guys in a, this horror movie, and let's do it in a way to where you don't need to know any of this stuff. So, if you're listening at home, you want to see this movie, and you're like, oh, crap, I've never seen the web series. Maybe I'll skip this one. It's standalone. You don't need to know anything. I think the benefit of it, though, is all these characters are so rich. Because all these actors played them for 6 episodes, developed backstories, so it's a little bit more in depth than a regular horror movie would be.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. You got people that have already, they are seasoned in that role at least, so they're ready for that. That's kind of.
Yeah. And I bet if you go back and look at it, like the movie will mean so much more.
It will, especially the people that really
jokes,
liked the series. There was big fans of the series. Like he said, people kept asking us, when are we going to bring it back? When are we going to bring it back? So. yeah, I think a lot of people that watch the original series are really going to appreciate, the film. But if, like Shane said, if you haven't seen the original series, we really, Avengers it, where you don't really need to know the other things,
I think that's important though, because I mean, in today's culture, if you don't grab them in the first like 2.5 minutes,
Yeah.
they're scrolling past you. You know what I mean?
And
So
then
it's
you
like
gotta reload every 5 minutes. Too.
So I think things do have to stand alone, and things do have to be this clickbait sometimes.
And we definitely took the Roger Corman approach to this. So every 5 minutes, there's someone's dying, or there's some nudity, or there's something to make sure that you're having a good time. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. We want the audience to walk away going, "Oh man, that was a great time. I got to recommend this to my friends."
Yep.
Yeah, it's not about, again, it's just about having fun.
Yeah.
I think is the key to it for us. And I honestly think we have a really fun film, and I think people are really going to enjoy it.
Oh yeah, man.
So where did the concept of the show come from? Other than who came up with, let's do a show about a bunch of guys that scrape fucking roadkill off those trees? Like where did this come from?
So Shane, I'll give a little bit of backstory, and then I'll hand it over to Shane. So Shane actually directed a film called Mount Hopeless that I starred in 2015, and and it was like my introductory into
Being an actor,
this
kinda
world,
your
and,
first thing.
and it was also the day that I met Shane.
Did you film it in Mount Hope?
No.
Oh,
No,
it is
it's all
right,
filmed
right.
here in Wichita as well. And again, hopefully it will be out on Amazon here in the next maybe year or so. But yeah, so it started with that. And after we got done with that, we were like, what do we want to do next? And we, I think it was more of a idea than it was anything else. But we sat down and we were just thinking, like, what should we do? And I think we just landed on a web series, and from there, then kind of things evolved into it being what it is.
Absolutely. The whole real idea behind it was we met so many talented actors.
Yes, for sure.
Just looking at the poster, Mark Manette, Mark
yeah.
Anderson, Kami McCandless, Shanna
Berry,
Berry, Trevor,
Nathan,
Farney,
Nathan.
It was really just to facilitate these actors so we could keep working with them.
Yeah.
Because, a lot of people, maybe don't realize this, but the amount of talent that's here in Wichita is absurd.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, well, it's like I want to say music theater Wichita is like this farm team for Broadway. It seems like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so much here, and if you can climb the ranks of Wichita music theater,
Yes.
then like you probably are doing some
Yeah.
Broadway, or at least some off Broadway.
We've definitely tapped into that with this film. Again, Mark Manette, a lot of these guys are, seasoned. I mean, just honestly, for me, a guy who just walked into this thinking, man, I want to do this, to even
Sounds fun.
to even be able to work with a guy like Mark Manette is just, I mean, you feel it. You can feel his energy in the room. You feel that he's the real deal. You know what I mean? And that's just one guy. This is an ensemble cast. This is everyone on this is just wonderful, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Becky Janek,
Yeah,
Paula Maker.
for sure.
And when you watch this film, I really think that's what's going to draw people in immediately. We have this great opening. I won't spoil anything, but right after that, we see Mark Manette come on screen, and he really takes hold, and we start seeing these other characters. And I find myself just, as we're editing it or taking notes or whatever it was in the process, we just get sucked in and watch this movie. And Key and I would look at each other and go, wow, do we really have something good here? Or it really surprises us how easily we get sucked into these performances.
Yeah.
So who's the
That's
main?
awesome.
Who are the main characters of the TV show?
So the main character of the TV show is Trevor Vincent Farney and myself, me, Key Tawn
And where
Toothman.
where are they on this?
So Trevor is the guy on the far left with the cap on.
right
Yep,
here,
that's him. And then obviously I'm the guy over here in the far right with the suit on.
right here.
Yeah, that's me.
And are you guys the main characters in the movie as well?
We are, but I would say that the movie is a lot more evened out than the series
You get
is.
so much more time.
Yes, where in the series we're definitely more of the main. We're always there. You hardly ever not see us. You know what I mean?
Got it. Nice.
Yeah, the series is more of like a buddy type
Yeah.
of show. It's really Key and Trevor, and it's their relationship. and their chemistry that make it work. You know, when we did the movie, you could tell we were just like, oh, we can't wait to work with these guys again. Everyone's going to have, you know, equal time. And we tried to do a really good job of balancing that. Hopefully it works out. But
You get to expand on the characters a little bit.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
And
that's
like
nice.
Shane said, putting these characters that we know from Flatten, if you do know Flatten, in this horror situation is it's great. You know, it was a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun with it. And
So is there plans of other genre movies? Like, you going to do a rom-com, or are you doing a,
so
you know,
I say you keep dropping them in just
Yeah.
more random
sci-fi? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like
just-
the alien, you drop them. There's
Yeah.
fucking aliens there.
So
And
if-
now you're picking up aliens off the fucking street.
So if people really love a very Flatten Christmas and Flatten, you know, we'll consider, you know, moving on with maybe a second season of Flatten, or another, like, you know, like
Yeah,
a
it
sci-fi
could go anywhere. I
version.
mean, you can
Sure,
take it
yeah.
anywhere, right?
We've always wanted to send Phil Ray to space, you know. So maybe we finally have that sci-fi version of the movie, but we do have kind of a plan for another horror movie in the works down the road. So,
But it sounds like you have a good ensemble.
yeah,
You know what
for
I mean?
sure.
So-
Yeah.
Did you? Who wrote like the screenplay for this?
He wrote pretty much everything.
Nice.
I mean, we made the story really
Yeah.
together, but he wrote pinned the whole script himself.
Yeah, we had this idea October of 2021. You know, it's Halloween. We're into horror movies. And like in 2 weeks, we wrote the script, you know, to make sure, because we knew our limitations for this movie. I mean, it was never going to be a big Hollywood movie. So we wanted to lean into that B movie aspect. And
That's what makes it kind
Go
of fun.
campy. Go
That's what
B
makes it
movie.
kind of
Yeah,
fun with
for
these
sure.
movies. for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, right.
And I figured that, you know, too many drafts and revisions would take away that appeal. And, you know, we did one read-through with the cast. I did one revision, and then, you know, after that, we were off and running. And, you know, one thing with this cast,
Yeah,
and
right. I
same
was
with
gonna
the
say it
crew,
myself.
you know, we're very open to ideas, and we understand that, you know, if you're not open to letting some of these scenes and characters take it where it needs to go, you're missing out. And so a lot of people brought a lot to their, you know,
Yeah.
characters, a script, whatever it was.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted to know how much. Did you let your let the people expand and
for
like
sure. Like,
see what works? You
that's
know,
the thing is
Yeah.
we didn't need much of a script when you have this great of a cast.
Yeah, you,
Like,
you just give them a direction.
You just
Let
yeah,
them go.
hey, this is
and
what's
you say
going
something
on,
funny
you
here.
do it. You know what I mean? And plus, this group has worked together. You know,
Well,
the
6
past.
years comfortable
Yeah,
together.
so they
That's
have
great, you know?
chemistry.
Yeah,
we
6 full
know each
episodes
other,
makes it
so
nice.
it was just so easy. It was just so easy.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So, did you guys use the same production people that you used before, or is it? Did you
A
have to
little
go and
bit.
do
We-
something a little different? I mean, because I don't. Did you have?
Well-
some basically, did you have any like movie experience as you were transferring your medium? Like you're going from just a TV web series now to a movie. Did you have to? You know,
Well,
kind of
remember
figure
he
some things out?
had made Mount Hopeless before.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you made that one.
Well, but this was. Go ahead.
You know, we're always growing, so you know the experience level. You can tell from just watching this movie versus our previous work that you know how much we have grown.
For sure.
I would say the number one biggest leap was Win Ponder, who was our cinematographer, and he brought so much professionalism to the shoot and to every frame of the film. I do have this issue of not keeping crew members. I'm a nice guy. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the long hours. Movies are really tough to make. They're really long. It's a
A
lot
lot of time you're working
dedication.
for free. You know.
Yeah, and so we always been on bare bones, you know, crew, and usually by the time we first start a production, we might have a crew of like 3 or 4, maybe 5. You know, by the time we're finishing the last scenes of the movie, it's usually just me. So
Right. I do want to say that we did with this. We had to add, because it's a horror. We had to add on a effects artist, Abby Evans, and she was actually the one who designed the mask for the movie. She created that from scratch.
This one here?
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, so we had to bring on her, and then we also brought on Jack, and recently with some scenes that we had did, you know, in the last couple of months. But yeah, for other than that, really, I mean, the production behind it really is me and Shane. I mean, it's really just the two
Sadly.
of us. You know what I mean? So that's why we're hoping that, you know, moving forward, we could get some support from the city and get some support from people around here to continue making films. You know.
So when you're going in to make a film like this, you're throwing a whole new cast into a new genre. Where did you plan on filming this? Obviously here in Wichita, but Like, what are some of the scenes you guys used around here?
Just because we come from more of a practical background of shooting, films before, shooting short films, doing this web series, that anytime that we're writing, brainstorming, there has to be how are we going to actually accomplish this?
Right.
We might, when we get super high, we go off into a tangent, but we know when to reel it back in. So a big aspect of this was, where are we going to shoot this? And originally for the web series, I was working at now that Shocker Studio, was called Mindfire.
I remember.
Yeah, over there in
Max
the
Cole.
over in the old Wichita
Max
Mall.
Cole.
Yeah, for sure.
Right there in front of the old Wichita Mall.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
And
My son's name is Spencer.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and they got
the mascot.
And the great Chinese place in France, or whatever that place.
Shanghai.
Shanghai,
Not
yeah.
bad. Not bad.
And
But yeah.
so we filmed the entire series at Mindfire
Bet.
because, we had access to it. So coming to this one, we needed some other facility. I no longer work at Shocker Studios, or never have, but no longer work at those
Mindfire,
studios,
right.
Mindfire. And so we went to Mark Manette, who is the theatrical director for Newman College, or Newman University.
And Lucas
Oh, nice.
Farney as
And
well.
Lucas.
And Lucas, who's Lucas plays he plays the killer behind the mask. So he was the assistant theater director or something like
He's the
that.
deer shovel man?
At the time he was. And so yeah, a lot of help from him as well.
So we wrote knowing that we're going to have access to Newman. And some of the jokes, I don't know if people will find this funny. I think it's hilarious, but because we had access to these ridiculous locations, we wrote it into the movie. So there's a basketball scene because we had access
Yeah,
to
we had a
big-
full basketball.
Yeah,
court.
you had the
right?
football team. Yeah, that shit.
And so it's
Well,
How do we make this happen?
Well, I was going to kind of ask, did you kind of write this movie in the same comic vein as with the horror too, tied together like you did the show?
We did. What's funny is when we first, started putting this movie out, and watching screeners of it, I thought it was a comedy. I thought it was a comedy horror. And the more, impressions people get, they're like, no, this is a horror comedy. There's some scary parts. And we're just like, really? I just thought
for
it was
sure.
funny. And,
Yeah.
But I do think it's a nice balance. But I definitely come from more of a, just kind of a weird, like some of my favorite horror movies and moments in them also have comedy in that moment.
Almost some of even the best ones, I think, ended up having some comedy moments that I don't even know if they meant to have.
Yeah.
Some of them are just fucking hilarious. Like there's,
Absolutely.
I think I can't remember if it's the first Evil Dead or first Night of the Living
Oh,
Dead,
Evil Dead was intense.
where they just keep nailing doors to to keep these zombies out. They just like have 100 doors in the basement of this house, and they just keep pulling them out and nailing them onto the fucking. Like it's just goofy shit like that is what makes some of those real horror campy movies great.
Yeah.
I'm a huge John Waters fan, so like that kind of humor, that kind of B.
So they gave you, did they give you kind of
that
carte
B
blanche?
vibe.
I love it. Yeah, what's
a new
fun?
one?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's funny is, it's this Christmas movie, so obviously, birth of Christ, all this, and Newman University is a Christian college.
sure.
So, we keep getting all this support, from you guys, even, from Newman, and the entire time I'm just like, have you seen it? Before you know what a back in, maybe you guys should take a look at this.
Well,
but
we can't get a preview of it.
I mean, did you have to?
You either support or you don't.
Did you have to
know what I
worry
mean?
about not
And I support.
disrespecting some of their like more, like temples and shit? Like they have some like straight up church areas.
We didn't do anything like that. We
Yeah.
created our own.
You kind of
sets.
stayed out of that.
Yes. So they have a room
That would have
there.
been tough for me.
For the premiere, we have the Archbishop here today. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we borrowed some nuns.
Yeah.
No, they had a room there called the Black Box.
We borrowed some nuns.
and the Black Box is pretty much the main area that we used. I mean, we did shoot all over around campus, honestly, but the main area that we used was the Black Box, and we set up a lot of our sets and scenes in there.
Well, shout out to Newman University for letting you
Yeah,
guys do
for
that.
sure. Mark Manette, again, Lucas Farney. Yeah, without them, we wouldn't have had access. I mean, we were there late, guy. I mean, like 2, 3, 4 in the morning for weekends after weekends. So
How many people walk up on you like, what are the fuck are you guys doing?
they pretty much knew.
God.
the security pretty much knew who we were at that point, and because we were the only people there that late.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
really.
why?
Everybody else was in bed by 9.
Right, for sure.
Okay, so other than Flatten meets this, what's the premise of this movie? Are we just running from this dude?
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, it takes place 6 years later. So it's almost of a mystery is who's this killer? Is it one of the furry friends, which is the Roadkill collection?
And a whoodunit kind of style.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
we got a little whodunit in there.
Yeah, a little whodunit in
Oh,
there.
that's always fun. Those are some of my favorite movies.
Come on, right? Clue.
The one of the newest whodunit I really is
Knives Out.
no the one I really enjoyed had Sam Rockwell in it. He was the lead in it.
Oh, man, I love Sam Rockwell.
And it was in a theater. It was a now you see me or see them now or whatever. I can't remember. I'd have to look up it up. But just recently came out. It was good.
Yeah, gotta check that. I'm a big Sam Rockwell fan
Yeah.
too.
Oh, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's
one
great.
of my favorites.
So are you guys doing tall grass or
Now I
anything
gotta
with
fucking
this?
look up.
I highly doubt it. I mean, submissions were like back in July.
Oh yeah, that's true. huh?
We've been talking about reaching out, see if we
Get
could
through
just
the
get
next
it,
one.
or we'll see. I mean, it depends on how much they want to bend the rules. I believe this will be coming out since late September. I think the rule for it this year was that it can't. If your film had come out like after October of last year, you can submit it. So,
yeah.
and but we're all want to talk to them about possibly doing it out of competition. Just having it play would be cool,
Yeah.
but.
I mean, if we can help you anyway.
Yeah, very cool. Well, you guys have. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
giving us
you
a
guys have been the
venue
most helpful
and-
people. We hear all the time that people want to support local, and it's you guys have been the most helpful and the most supportive people that we've had so far. Hands
I
down.
mean, we try. They
Yeah,
try real hard.
I
in
do,
this
man.
movie.
I really love to support local because that's ours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as a community, that's
For sure.
ours. I feel like not ownership, but I feel like
For sure.
proud. You
Moving,
know what I mean? Like
moving
yeah.
forward, we want to continue that. We want to
Yeah.
continue having people from Wichita and from Kansas, all around come.
I wish we had more of a community embracing that kind of.
I do
vibe,
too,
you know what I mean?
but I feel like this is a start.
Well, I still
yeah.
I feel like as a movie lover, I'm always looking for like this kind of experiences and the big experience too. I
Yeah.
love all major movies down to whatever. Sometimes we don't hear much about this.
Well, and that's
we
the
need to
problem with
maybe-
Wichita. Period is promotion. Once
Yeah, we
again,
need to-
it's like
we
you
need
always
to-
hear about it after the fact.
we need a lot
This
of
happened
the
yesterday.
movie makers and all the people that are in that industry know about it real well, but some of the public doesn't know about it quite as well. So there's definitely, if there's any places to find where indie movies are being played and stuff, I would definitely like to know because
Yeah.
and I'm glad that we're starting to do that because I'm glad that Aaron's always wanted to try to do that in this building.
And in Wichita too, it seems like there's a difference between the people starting out and the people at whatever level this is, and then like the entry level way high bar thing that goes on in Wichita, like the Mark Arts and the like the high bar kind of stuff that you
Sure.
got to like get into or know somebody or
Right.
I don't even know how you do.
Well,
something.
I like
you know.
live theater and all, but I'd rather go see independent movies made by independent people in Wichita
Yeah.
more than live theater.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I'd
would
rather
rather- I
just
would
go
rather-
see the movies that people.
Yeah,
make
I
in
mean, as a
Wichita.
filmmaker personally, I would love to go out and see a film made in Wichita by Wichita people with
Yeah.
Wichita actors. That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
What we tried to do with this was just like, I don't know, what do you want to do? like what helps you? What can we do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that every artist is trying to do something different, and I think
Are
that
we charging
everybody has a
$10?
different thing.
$10 at the door for each
Yeah,
one?
it's
of
a
these
$10
shows?
I
donation.
think they're on sale right now online. If you get them early, they're like $8, I think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nice.
maybe 10
And
at the door.
and almost everything that goes through this door, guys, is a donation here. So if you can donate,
It is.
if you can always donate more, we appreciate it here at the Hideout. I mean, we're a nonprofit and a bunch of studios working hard for all kinds of
Yeah,
crazy shit.
and Wichita Arts and Music Alliance, we've always wanted to do the film stuff. Tallgrass always needs venues to play stuff in.
Well, it'd be fun if we could get enough together to do that kind of stuff here, where we could have like a bunch of showings.
We got a lot of
movies.
people that make music videos right next door. Dan Murphy with Daniel Scott Films.
Yeah.
He's making music videos for bands. Once a month, we do the live concert series, the Aaron and Austin Show Presents.
We do like kind of a tiny desk initiative downstairs. Like we just let somebody live stream to as many
Live stream concert.
many platforms as we can. Just give them a free fucking platform to come in and jam on that thing. We can invite 20 people, your closest friends, just so we can make a little money at the door. But other than that, it's just a place for someone to try to get seen. And almost everyone we've done it so far has done over 1,000 views. So that's a pretty decent little concert.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
for something
And that's
downstairs.
kind of how this podcast started. Was just trying to promote things
Right.
in town.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You know, because there just seems to be such a lack of that.
Yeah, for sure there is. Yeah,
I know you guys are working to promote this movie, of course, and it's kind of a Christmas theme. But are you guys got any other projects in the works? that
Yeah,
you're thinking
tell me about this podcast, man. You were the last person to interview.
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley
Yeah,
Duvall.
that's right. It was called the podcast is called Screen Talk Live. Me and Shane actually started it 2022? Yeah.
I think so.
And I was eventually I got to interview Shelley Duvall. I was a producer on her last film.
Oh,
And
excellent.
but yeah, our next project, we're honestly with this, we had so much fun doing horror, and we just the support that you get in the horror.
It's like being a metal band.
That's a good way to put it. But yeah, the support that you get is just unreal. Like
It really is, man. They show up for it.
Yeah,
They
they
love
do. They do.
They love
Like my brother brought over a bunch of VHSs for me the other day, and he's like, I got all these VHSs. I'm like, the only ones that are worth anything are horror ones. And he's like, I wonder why that is. I'm like, because horror people care.
They do.
Yeah.
They care. They go back and they collect everything, but no one else cares,
If you do comedy, it's got to be really funny.
Right, but that's the other thing too with comedy too, is that we live in a world now where, I mean, you don't see comedy. When's the last big theater comedy movie?
Oh, it died
Yeah,
with COVID.
really.
Yeah,
It died with COVID.
I mean, even a little before COVID, it was
Yeah,
already
dude.
starting
and,
to die.
And woke and all that shit.
For sure, right?
killed it,
Because there's
yeah.
there's limits to what you can do
There's
in
not if it's
comedy
funny.
now.
In
Yeah,
in my
right?
opinion,
Come on.
comedy works if it's funny. I
Yeah,
don't care
it's
who
the
you
last
are. If
true
it's
art form, I
funny,
believe. And
if it's
yeah.
funny, you
But the
gotta
edgy
take it.
comedy is now getting like canceled. and
Yeah,
stuff.
but
It's like-
fuck it, not to
For
me.
sure.
You don't. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'll walk that edge.
For sure. And
I'll
same
walk
thing
that
with
edge. I ain't
same thing in
scared.
the vein of slasher horror. I feel like audiences miss Jason Voorhees. I feel like we miss Freddy Krueger. I feel like we miss these
Well,
things.
we don't miss them that much. They come back around enough.
Well, I mean, a Jason Voorhees movie hasn't been made since 2010. I mean, that's 14
we
years.
got a
you know?
Freddy Krueger series coming. I think that's done by ain't it being done by Zombie? It's like pre him getting burned and shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have no idea about that, but
But before I forget, that Sam Rockwell movie is See How They Run.
Okay.
It's
See how they run.
it's got Adrian Brody in it too.
oh, we love Adrian.
There you go.
Brody.
It's got a bunch of good, it's a great whodunit. It's a recent whodunit. It's better than Knives Out in my opinion.
Okay.
It's based in a theater setting too, so it's kind of
That's awesome.
It's real funny.
That's really cool.
It's real well. See How They Run. That's the name of it. He's the inspector trying to solve it all.
Awesome.
And he's got this like dumb inspector with him that he's just got to deal with the whole entire time. It's really fucking funny movie.
Are you still doing the podcast?
So I haven't done the podcast in a while. Really been busy with the movie, especially lately. But yeah, and also my co-hosts for the podcast. Shane's been really busy with work, so he had to take time off from the podcast. And then I started. Trevor was a co-host for us. Trevor, Lucas, and Noah Farney. They're all brothers, and they were co-hosts for me. Sitting in here and there, but they all moved to Tennessee. So,
Oh, wow.
so I have no co-host
That's why I
now.
haven't
I've
seen
been
Vincent
tied
now
up
in a
with the
while.
movie. Yeah, for sure.
So what was the podcast about?
So is movies, movie news, stuff like that. Yeah,
Have you guys
reviews.
You guys seen Wolverine and fucking?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you guys think?
It was all right.
To me, it had enough of. If you've seen all the shit, the jokes are the best part of it.
Yeah,
Like just the catching all the one-offs of all the shit that's between Fox and Disney. It was the funnest part of it
for sure.
for us.
For sure.
So, what are you guys' inspirations like when it comes to like movies? Like, who is your like go-tos when they got you kind of doing this business?
I think
say the L word.
yeah, I think collectively we are such big fanboys of David Lynch.
Yep.
And
Huge fans of David Lynch, and
He-
you'll see that in
yeah,
this film.
he
There
definitely-
will not be
Excellent.
very many times where you don't feel that.
You don't try to hide it. You
No,
just- yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Let it breathe,
absolutely.
yep.
And it's not just a fan of his films, but his his methods towards cinema. I really embrace as well that chaos. Let the film, because essentially you make half the movie and the movie makes the other half.
Right.
I mean, there's just so much you can do, especially at this level. You can't control everything, and I think the more that you embrace that chaos and let it make itself, the more fun and the better product you're gonna have.
Yeah, I think you can tell, even from a small budget movie all the way up to a big budget movie, the people that had fun making it.
Yeah.
Like you could that to me that always comes through. That really shows when the actors kind of don't like each other and it's kind of tense, it seems like, and like the people don't fit, like that shit sticks out like a fucking sore
I can
thumb.
promise you that is not this cast. This cast loves each other. You will see if you guys are here on our like cast party night.
What night is that? That's the night I want to come.
Yeah, that's September 21st at 8 p.m.
Yeah, we'll come. Me and Aaron will come on.
And I'm telling you now, I mean, this cast, like I said, we've known each other for so long too. We've worked with each other, and I mean, moving forward from Mount Hopeless, Shane worked with a lot of this cast in a couple of different things that were selected actually at Tallgrass Film Festival. Nice. So we've all kind of been working together, as a unit in a way for a long time. So this cast is really close. We love each other, and just working together. I mean, that's the one thing that was cool about coming back to Flatten, is that we knew it was going to be a good time. Like, we knew getting back with everybody in one room, because, it's also difficult getting, 16, 20 people in one room for a whole weekend to do these things, too. But when you guys really love each other and you're having a good time, it makes it really easy and smooth for sure.
Yeah. So let's go back to Flattened. Like, what's the basic premise of that show? It's like, I mean, we're going around, we're picking up animals. It's like it's the department. It's kind of like,
yeah, it's a department. It's a workplace comedy, but again, it's really that buddy chemistry between Trevor and Key's character, and so they really anchored the show. Though the best part about it is everybody is an absolute moron. And so we make fun of everybody, but at the same time, you can tell we love it. These people from Kansas. We got someone who's, like a gun nut. We got someone who's repressed sexually, so it comes out through anger.
Excellent.
We got,
those people are hard to find around here.
Yeah, very, people could say that we're kind of making fun of ourselves, but in a playful way. But it really is Key and Trevor's story, and the bonds they form, and
I'm taking shots at all these motherfuckers, probably.
Absolutely, and we got one episode's about jerking off, the other's about religion, so we try to
tackle
cover
all the good stuff,
all the important Wichita.
Yeah, the big issues.
Yeah.
And then we'll have like at the end of an episode about how adopt a pet, and so even throughout it we can't even take ourselves seriously. It's very kind of
adopt a pet while you're scraping one off.
Right, exactly.
Adopt a pet
today, adopt one tomorrow.
Keep us in business.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Well,
for
sign this for me, man.
Oh, please.
Yeah, for sure.
Sign this, both of you. It would be nice. I'd like a signed one from both of you guys if you could.
Do you have a Sharpie?
Oh yeah, do we have a Sharpie?
Get a silver Sharpie for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't got anything that cool. I just always got good. I just got cool gel pens.
Yeah, we'll get a Sharpie later.
Yeah, let's get something better. I want to have a signed one.
Definitely.
We'll definitely do that.
Yeah,
one for you.
Sure. For sure.
So what's next? You guys have any projects in the works?
Yeah, we again we want to stick within the horror genre just because there's a built-in audience. People will get excited about this, and so
I'd zap them into a new fucking horror one.
Yeah,
right? For sure.
So the next level now is to take the comedy out of the horror, just show that we can do straight horror.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next project is called Dead End Ahead.
Damn it! I wanted the deer to be on your team in the next one.
So hey, listen.
It could.
Listen. As the producer, I will tell you, the door is not closed.
That's right.
If this
it's serious the whole way, and at the end the deer's ready there to help you out.
if this if this is and we
play
have
it straight the
to
whole
be
way.
honest with you, and me and Shane can't believe this, but we've had a wonderful response to the killer, and to the whole reindeer slasher thing. So if that turns out good and this has success on the back end, then yeah, we'll definitely.
You got to ride the hot iron.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure. Yeah, we wouldn't dare. We even talked about maybe going different holidays.
You gotta, well, I wondered if you guys. I wondered if you guys
like, what the fuck?
had some Easter eggs, like this is the shovel from the fucking that you guys used to pick up the animals with.
So there's a lot of Easter eggs in the film.
Yeah.
Like if you,
I wondered if you guys
like
had
from the series.
homages to the homages to the series.
Yes, there's a lot. There's a ton of things
Beautiful.
that background stuff to world building things. I would say. very Lord of the Ring esque. No,
Yeah, you always got to open a door sometimes, and you never know. You might never go there, but you might too as
yeah,
well.
for sure.
So that's always kind of fun.
And that shovel is definitely a nod to the series because that's their main receptacle item.
Right. Yeah.
So when we were coming up with the killer, we were like, yeah, let's make sure that he's a roadkill. Let's make sure he's got the shovel.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's coming back around.
Yeah, exactly.
sure.
I
Very,
love
like,
it.
roadkill
I love it.
scorned.
I love it. But now,
Yeah.
but now the roadkill has its own fucking shovel.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
fucking love it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
exactly,
I mean, that's
exactly.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean, I think you guys could probably do a couple of these.
Yeah.
You
I
know-
mean, again, if we have good response moving forward, we'll go this. But like Shane said, we are in pre-development on a project called Dead End Ahead, and
Can you give us a little taste of it, or is it?
Yeah,
a little, are we going to do a little reveal here live on the Aaron and Austin show?
Yeah, why
Sure,
not?
why
It's I've been telling people it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a little twist.
What, like the twisting of the chainsaw, or is this got a
So
we gotta spin the other way?
So let's just say that every horror film, especially within that type of genre, you got the teenagers, they're trapped, they get killed one by one, and then you got one, final female. We're taking it that approach, and that's the end of the second half. So the third act itself is going to be something brand new. People, I don't think I've ever seen really in a horror movie, and so I'm excited to do that.
yeah, and we have I'll take a little bit more, and we have great locations for this next film that's going to make this next film really stand out. Not to say that we didn't have great locations for this film, because one of the big things about this film is the location we had at Newman, having access, like
You guys like dub all the keys so you can sneak in there.
yeah, we didn't have to sneak in. We had.
I know, but for next time, you don't know who the administration will be.
That's true.
That's true. That's true.
When you get in the first time, you got to go cut a couple of keys so you can get in there.
We know where the hiding places are, so we'll come in
That's right.
during hours, and then put up a tent. and
Yeah.
We got it figured out.
Yeah, it's cool when somebody lets you get a badass location like that,
Yeah, for sure.
and then you always can see what you come up with next time.
You sneak in some security guards on some.
See, and that's the thing with
scenes.
the connections, and with that, and with having more support from people around the city, is there's some really cool places around this city that would be awesome to showcase in film. But who do you know? How do you get a hold of these
there you
people?
go.
And
There you
right,
go.
all these things.
Well,
we
just start filming.
What
You'll
hoops
figure out
do I
who's
gotta
there real
jump in?
quick.
like we have the castle. The
White people
castle
just stand
over
on
there, and all
just
these
stand on their
things that,
property.
Trump
would,
Castle.
right, would be amazing to film a horror film
that
there.
would be
But
beautiful.
Oh yeah, that'd be
but
good.
what's it cost?
now you gotta rent
and
this out by
yeah,
the hour.
right, I know, but man, to have
Yeah.
Can't
you
even
know,
get everywhere you want to go.
There's a
right.
couple areas in Vix Ridge that would be cool to film in, and there's a lot of that.
I-
But you just don't know who
Shout-
owns the property.
Shout out to my dad, Lowell Toothman. He's the lead singer of Sweet 68. I don't know if you guys know that band. Yeah. But he owns a car lot or a auto repair shop on South Broadway, and we actually what was it? Has it been a couple of months now? A couple of months ago, we or maybe a month ago, we did some pickup scene shoots there. And man, it just looked great. And just again, things like that, having access to these places that we couldn't recreate without having thousands of dollars, guys.
Yeah,
like
when you have some specialty scenes like that and you're an indie filmmaker, you actually have to find that scene.
yeah,
You have to find that
exactly.
place.
Exactly.
You don't have no
And-
CGI
and
to
then
build
You gotta
that.
hope that guy's like,
Well,
hey, yeah,
hey.
go ahead, just use it.
I don't
There
know.
should be a catalog. There should be
Well,
like
that-
a catalog. Like this guy is willing to let you use his backyard
Well, that-
for.
For sure.
That
for
segues
sure.
me into a pretty good question. Have you seen all the shit you can kind of do with AI now? I mean, there's like Tyler Perry quit building his giant studio that he was building because like you're gonna be able to fucking snap your fingers and build a fucking set from here on out. I mean, that AI shit's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, well, we were not a big fan of any of that stuff.
We support humans. They work. They're artists.
Yeah.
AI just
You
wrote,
expect-
produced, and released my
Especially-
last record, man. I didn't do anything.
During this podcast,
Fucking
Especially
awesome.
again when it comes to like
Yeah, dude,
like we're talking
great.
about this cast, this that you see on the poster. These guys are truly talented individuals. I think you'll see that. I think that what's going to shine through the most on this film is that in Wichita we have some really talented people, man.
Yeah, we really do, and we have movie makers. We have.
That's right, we do.
We have some people. I mean, do you guys know the O'Bray? O'Bray, they released.
Oh
a bunch
yeah,
of
for sure I do. For sure we
yeah,
do. Yeah.
Devin, I
what's
think.
his
Yeah,
name?
but that's right.
Yeah.
That's
What's
right.
his,
That's right.
he was a hip hop artist too, as well, right?
Well, I mean,
Wasn't he?
I don't think he was a hip hop artist, but he was. I know he's done some videos.
thinking
and
of the
Yeah,
wrong
whatnot.
he
guy?
has
exactly.
3 or 4 different films like on Tubi and
he does a bunch of
Amazon.
the stuff like Dee Dee.
Oh, okay. Oh, no,
and,
that's a different guy.
and
That's
like
different.
Alonso, like
They
there are a
talked
bunch
about
of
we
movies.
talked about him. We
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to get him on the show sometime.
But yeah, I mean, and again, you know, to have people like that in our city, you
That's
know,
what I mean, man. It's
creating,
like-
you know.
Yeah, we got to get a
I
bigger.
think-
But
I
how do
think
we
he
support it?
actually-
How do we blow that up?
I think
Well,
he
we'll
moved
help.
to
We'll get
Atlanta,
we'll
but-
shine a light on that as much as we can. So
Right, yeah, and you guys have, like I said, you guys have been, you know, a shining beam of support, and
That's
and
all
what
we're
all
trying
this
to do.
is. But again, you know,
One bottle at a
and
time,
and
buddy.
talk shit on a Tuesday.
we do hear all the time that, you know, everyone is all local supporting,
Hey,
but
man.
I will tell you that it has not been the most welcoming thing. Like I've told you guys, I wish everyone was as welcoming as you guys are.
Well, as welcoming as they say they're going to be
counterproductive not to
too.
be.
Right,
man.
that's right. Don't say you're.
Don't tell me you're going to be at some shit if you're not going to fucking be there.
Yeah.
Now, if you say you're going to be at 10 things and you make 8 of them, okay, then
Yeah,
I'll
and-
believe you.
Gotcha.
But if you say you're going to be at like 5 and you ain't showed up for shit and you ain't kicked $1 to any of these industry, I don't need to hear your bullshit about support local.
And Wichita's the place to where like your best friend is like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be there for you. Can I get in free?
Yeah,
Sure.
Oh man,
Can I be your
that's
plus
like-
one?
That's like some fucking backwards ass support,
I
right?
pay,
Like that's not real.
I live and work in this building and pay rent here. I pay for shows at here too. When I walk into them, support this damn place. Support the people trying
Support
to do some
people
shit.
doing things, man. Just
I also feel like there's a lot
R&J's.
of-
That's R&J's for a $30 bottle. That's a $30 bottle.
That's
for,
great. It's tasty.
Yeah, it's
not bad, right?
pretty
Love it.
nice and cheap.
Yeah.
So
Love
I'm
it.
telling you, R&J's. Yeah, and oh man, I'm telling you, Papa C's barbecue and Whiskey Dicks, all of our people, man. You gotta love Jukebox and the Cowboy Inn, and we lost. And I say it again. They just actually his funeral was today, so I'm gonna give a shout out to Thomas Doyle. Everybody knows him as Tad. He was the owner of All Out Detox and Appliance Nerds. He was
both
on.
sponsors of ours.
Been a huge sponsor of ours. I've known the guy for fucking ever. Been just a great dude in this town forever. And
He facilitated us putting a bong rip on
yeah.
on radio.
He hired us, so he comes to me and he goes, "Hey, I had a production guy. I don't know what to do anymore. We need someone to make can you make me a All Out Detox commercial?" I was like, "Do you want me and Aaron to be on it?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Can I put a bong rip on it?" He goes, I don't care if they'll let you. And so I was like, right in the first opening thing, right to this bong rip. So shout out to Thomas Doyle letting me do a bong rip on the radio.
And shout out to Mindy. That was his girlfriend that was with him.
Yeah,
and I'd known her for a while.
Yeah,
Before
she
I
was
met
actually
Dad, really.
she was actually like right there when it
I
all
know.
happened.
That's what I'm
Jesus
saying.
Christ.
Like,
I mean, this is a
shout out
fucked,
to her, man.
this is a
So-
fucked up dude that he got run down right in front of his fucking house. He got
Yeah, I
hit.
heard about it.
2 o'clock in the morning. The guy
Right there.
ran off. Finally, the guy
Terrible.
turned himself in and all that good stuff. But he was one of the first
Is
dudes
that what
supported
happened?
a show.
I never heard how it happened.
Well, they
But-
kind. I mean, he turned himself in. How it usually goes, they kind of find your car and they're looking for you, and then you turn yourself in. You know what I mean? You know, that's kind of how it always
Hey,
goes.
these guys are at the
You
house.
turn yourself in when it's time to
yeah,
turn yourself in. You know,
exactly.
not before.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Not when you could have stopped and maybe called the. But I mean,
Not when you could have maybe saved a life.
Hey,
he
man.
would not. The thing is, in this instance, he could not have because Mindy was right there. So like she called the ambulance right when it happened. He still was on. he was
Agree.
still-
I agree 100%.
But still,
tragedy and
when you hit
terrible
somebody,
things,
fucking stop, people.
for sure.
Just stop. If you sorry you fucked up. If you're drunk and you hit somebody, you gotta stop.
For
please.
sure, but back on the topic of of having the support from the city, I being the only producer on this film, I've spent over $20,000
Shit, I
on
bet.
this
Yeah.
film.
I
you know?
bet.
and that's all here in the city. Like
Yeah.
every dollar of money I spent pretty much was spent here in the city. We have a scene in the movie. I don't want to spoil anything either.
Spoil it,
We have
spoil
a
it.
scene in the movie that has maybe like over 100 donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe over 100 donuts.
Oh,
And then somebody's got to eat them after.
Yeah, we donated those.
Yeah, we gave them out to
Yeah.
homeless people.
The police precincts around town.
But it's just things like that. All the money that we spent, a lot of that I spent went into the city itself too.
Who were your
Yeah,
camera?
anything you bought off of Amazon, you returned.
Yeah, that's right.
Who
Thank you, Bezos.
who was your cameraman for this? Was
Win
Win
Ponder,
Ponder. He actually was. He was the director of a documentary called
Blood, Sweat, and Honey.
and Honey. Yeah, which is a Randy. Do you guys know Randy Castillo? Obviously, you know Randy Castillo.
was
the
a
drummer for
drummer.
Ozzy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It was a documentary about Randy Castillo, the life, blood, and rhythm
There it is.
of Randy Castillo
Had the
is the
big
name of
fucking
it.
hair.
Win Ponder is his name. He was the director of that film, and then he was our cinematographer. I think this may be the last film that he ever
Yeah,
does.
we broke him.
But
Yeah.
but he was great.
Too many donuts.
He put in the time, he put in the effort,
Too many donuts.
and we love what we got from Win for sure. And we wish.
so
we
when
could work-
you're coming back for the next one?
we hope
need-
so.
we need to
wish.
find a new
Yeah, we need to
cinematographer.
find somebody.
Push it down in there a little tighter and it'll move for you.
If you got a reel, send it my way. I'll take a look.
Block
at
Yeah,
off
for
the
sure.
date.
We're-
Block
yeah.
off the date it's happening.
Or give him an extra G-Bird, he'll come in.
it.
Yeah,
That's all I'll take.
yeah, for sure.
So where can we other than we've talked about what we're going to do next. What are we going to do next with this film other than what we're doing here at the Hideout?
You say you have an Amazon release.
Do we have
date
what's the
on
plan
it?
for the film and where can people find the film and all that good stuff?
So obviously, we have the first and foremost, we have the red carpet premiere. That is on Saturday, September 21st at 11 p.m. for the public.
Yeah.
I have all the tickets for that, and most of them are sold. But after that, and every Saturday in October, it'll play at 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. We also have a release at the Salina Cinema. That's
Nice.
Thursday, October 3rd. And we're working on other little releases around, like in Augusta and stuff like that.
Perfect.
And then if everything, before we had, met with you guys and stuff, we had just planned to release straight to Amazon. So hopefully we can still honor that and release on October 24th on Amazon Prime, where you could rent or purchase the movie.
Well, and any other content creators, reach out to these guys and put them on your show and fucking help us support this movie
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And support anything local. Let's actually do it. I mean, we all say it. Let's,
Yeah.
Hey man, I do my fucking part. Me and Aaron.
Hey, I know we do.
So hey,
we
before
try.
we get out, we're movie guys. Give us a let's do top 5. What's our top 3? What's your like go to movies?
That's super hard.
No, it's not. Like
Top
what's
3
your
horror movies.
no?
We'll say
Fuck
that.
off with the horror movies.
Oh, you
Get this
just top
fuck out
3.
of
You
here.
just like going.
There's not even a top 3 horror movies. It's the worst fucking genre in movies. I'm not saying it's not worth watching horror movies.
My favorite
But
movie,
shots fired.
My favorite movie of all time is a horror movie.
No
What is
fucking
it? What is
way.
it? Which one?
The Shining.
Shining's dope.
That's
Shining
a
is my
fucking
favorite
drama
movie of all
movie, man.
time.
That's more of a it's more of a suspense. It's more of a suspense
Fair.
movie than a horror movie, in my opinion.
Fair.
But I don't know. I mean, we're splitting here.
I would say that for me personally too, we're gonna give you 5. In no particular order though.
Yeah, no
Besides
particular.
The Shining being number 1.
Great movie though. By the way,
Another horror for you, Alien.
the first,
Yes.
where you don't get to see the monster at all. That that is pretty good.
Love it.
Well, your imagination does
again,
more
a lot
than-
of suspense in that one too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that one's the one that's like makes you tense the whole fucking time.
Ooh. Love it. Big fan. Let's see. One film that really I would say the film that got me into all of this that I watched one time and then I just watched it and watched it and watched it until it was like a calling. Like something told me like, oh man, this is what you want to do. And that's
I can hear it in
it's
your voice
called
even.
it's called This Is the End. Have you guys ever seen This Is the End?
No, it sounds like a Doors movie. That's like
No, it's
Doors tribute.
it's a Seth Rogen movie.
Is one
Okay.
what they all play themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That movie. Yeah, right. And
where they rape Uma Thurman or Emma Watson or
But watch it right, yeah. And it was that really inspired me because, like I said, getting to play yourself in a movie with your best friends.
That's pretty dope. Yeah,
that's why we're here now. That was my whole
See, that's-
intention.
Yeah,
See, grown-ups-
that's like, hey, do you want to come hang
See,
out?
Grown-Ups
make a
is
couple
like
$1
that.
million?
Why? Come on.
See,
right?
Grown Ups is like that for me. The Grown Ups movies with Adam Sandler getting to
Oh,
hang
yeah,
out,
sure.
getting to hang out with Kevin Smith and Chris
Sure,
Rock and
sure.
like I'm sure like that movie portrays like that movie was made for them, not for us. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it
That's-
comes out
that's
and
how
turns
I
out
like
to be a good movie, but like really they made that so they could shoot the shit and hang out
For
with each
sure.
other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly
All right,
how I
keep
would
going.
make movies.
For sure.
that- what's
Okay. The Lighthouse. Have you guys ever seen The Lighthouse?
nope.
No.
Now you're going trying to go
that
obscure.
stars.
on us.
I'm sorry.
All right, Steve says a resounding hell
You
yeah.
don't have to go super obscure so
Shout
people
out to
think you're
Steve.
cool.
He knows good cinema. Directed by Robert Eggers, starring Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. Black and white film. Two men stuck on a lighthouse in between, like when they would get picked up, like on their shifts, which is like 18 months.
Yeah.
But like a storm comes, and so no one shows up for a long time, and they kind of go crazy. Wonderful film.
Okay. All right. There's something there.
So how many am I at now? Is that
7.
That was Jesus Christ. Man. I think that was 3. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 4.
Fine.
3 or 4.
Okay, fine.
4? Okay. All right.
Tracking shit.
You don't have to go. Don't try to be cool. You can. Your last one could be like
Fern Gully.
hey, what you got against Fern Gully? That was a show. That wasn't no movie, was it?
That was a movie.
Was it a movie?
Last
Oh, Fern Gully. What was the weird ass TV show that everybody watched?
Don't derail him.
He needs a minute. He needs a minute. I'm just killing time while he's there.
Okay.
I'm just killing dead air right now while he's thinking of his 5th movie.
I was trying to get pressure, I guess, but
this is tough.
The funny thing about as for me is like my 5 favorite movies have changed wildly over like every 5 to 10 years decade of my life. Like as I turned 40, I went, and now I get why my dad liked westerns. I didn't get it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Now I love westerns. They're like some of my favorite fucking movies.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I was like, God, these fucking westerns are stupid.
Lonesome Dove was dope.
You got your 5th one? No.
While I think about it, why don't you?
Matrix 3.
Why,
It's all of a sudden it's
while
that top
I
4.
think about my 5th, Shane, why don't you start into your
Yeah,
top
there you go.
5?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the industry because you guys got to really seem cool. I mean, me and Eric can just say whatever the fuck. Me and Eric can just be like, we love Toy Story 7.
Yeah.
Hey, Toy Story 3 might be the best movie ever made.
Best trilogy for sure.
Yeah, I'm a film nerd, so how about I do my favorite horror movies because
That's what I'm saying.
Um,
Gotta narrow it in.
Probably my favorite horror movie, if we're not counting The Shining, is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
And that's a good one.
Yeah. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I love 2. It's
never
one
tell
of my
if I-
favorite movies.
When there's a movie,
ever.
when there's like, okay, so let's viably say there's 17 renditions of that movie. I keep it all straight. Which one I may have seen 2.
Yeah. You've probably seen them all and just don't know.
It's the one that's more comedic.
I mean,
and
there's
with
gotta-
Dennis Hopper.
There's a
he's got
chainsaw, right?
Well, there's a chainsaw fight scene.
Okay.
There's a duel.
Dennis Hopper's in this one?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, I think I've seen this one.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay.
And then have you ever seen a movie called Basket Case? Very low
think so.
budget. Oh man! Do yourself a favor.
I love your
Yeah.
laugh about it.
You will never forget that movie. It's
Okay.
incredible, and it's just somebody that was like, I'm making a movie. Here's this movie, and it has some of the worst acting of all time, and it's
Epic.
incredible. Yeah.
Really?
Love it.
Bad Taste, Peter Jackson's Bad Taste. Incredible. It's
I've seen
super.
that.
It's his very first movie. It's really over the top. It's also, it combines a lot of the action genre kind of spoofs with the horror genre kind of spoofs. So it's like match made in heaven for me.
Excellent.
How many is that? Are we what, 3, 4?
That's 4.
4?
And then
No, Lynch's gonna make it.
Yeah, well, straight horror.
Yeah, I was gonna
don't
say, you
know.
guys- tough.
I mean, I love Lynch, Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, but he's in a world of his own. Yeah, absolutely.
That was in stereo.
We're big Lynch fans.
Apparently, you guys. I mean, your decoder
They've
rings
hung
almost
out before.
locked
Yeah,
up on that
They've
one.
hung out before.
Wonder Twins activate.
Form of Lynch fans.
Form of Lost Highway.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, excellent.
Well, Lost Highway's got the best soundtrack movie ever.
Oh, there you go. I love that sax.
Well, that
Bill Pullman.
and the bass on "Perfect Drug" by 9 Inch Nails on that song
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
will rattle you the fucking rafters. There's a fucking huge bass drop in that song. That's amazing.
Did you say you're 5th yet?
Yeah, I said David. In general.
Just David Lynch.
Just
in
they're
general.
all this. All
Just
this.
There we go.
insert
They're all
random
tied.
David
Yeah.
Lynch movie.
What you
gonna
got? You got any? You got of your favorites? You find up your 5th one ever?
Yeah, I got my 5th
You had to
one.
search a
when
bit?
he said his first one, it immediately made me think of my 5th one. You guys have given me way too. I don't drink, so you guys give me way too much alcohol.
That's kind of what we do.
This is Delta.
yes,
This is
I-
Delta 8
you know,
alcohol.
again,
yeah, it's yeah. This doesn't count even.
Again, win in Rome. But he said the name John Carpenter, and immediately Halloween, man.
Yeah.
Halloween.
The first one.
Yes, was one of when I was a
Got
child.
the coolest song
it
ever
was-
too.
Oh, come on!
I think
Are
we
you
found a movie
kidding
buddy
me?
back here, man. Steve is with you right now.
Yeah,
Steve
come
is
on.
with
Come
you.
on.
Man.
Let's go. And I'm telling you, when I was a child, you know, I was a big horror fan. You know, I watched. I don't know why my parents let me watch whatever the hell I wanted, but
It was
Shout
the
out to my parents
90s.
the same way. They didn't give a fuck.
right. But I would go to the public
80s and
library
90s rule.
and rent VHSs. I know. I'm
Dude,
that old.
and you could even get them. You could even get them booked over from the other library when
That's
it wasn't
right.
there.
That's right.
That motherfucker will be
and
here
I'm
tomorrow.
telling you, I would get everything. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Freddy. You know, Jason, all of them, every single thing, and nothing. I loved all of them, but the only one that I actually couldn't watch was Halloween. It actually scared
Freaked
me.
you out,
Like it
yeah.
really frightened me.
See,
Where all
Jaws was the
other
one that
ones
scared the fuck out of me. Jaws scared. The
Shane's
fuck
a big
out
Jaws fan.
I love Jaws.
The-
Jaws scared the fuck out
The
of me.
Saw
It's a perfect
franchise
movie.
fucked me up.
Love the Saw
Huh?
franchise.
The Saw
Jaws is
franchise.
a perfect
That
movie.
fucked me
Yeah,
up. Because all that
if
shit's
I did
possible,
horror,
man.
Jaws is in
For
my
sure.
top 5. Jaws just scared the fuck out of me. I scared. I won't fuck the ocean. I ain't
So,
going in
so
there
I'm not
today.
gonna let you guys get away with
It
it. So
should-
top 5 movies all time.
just doing all time.
All time.
Do I got to do? I mean, Belly's in my top
Okay.
in my top forever.
I'm sure Shane doesn't know what that is.
a
But
lot of my-
love it.
A lot of mine are bigger movies probably. Of course, anything Kevin Smith does, I'm gonna do what you did with
There you go.
I actually
Tie
met
for
Kevin
all of
Smith.
them.
Yeah, so
At
I
at
love.
the
I just
premiere of
I just
Forest
love his.
Hills.
I like dialogue, so I've always been a writer. So like movies with great dialogue. Where Oppenheimer really stood out to me over the last couple of years that I really dug that. Top 5 ever. That's
hard,
always
isn't it,
tough.
man?
Yeah, how's it feel?
I mean, I could Dazed and Confused.
Oh wow.
Dazed and Confused is always
Love it.
a super fun movie for me
Yeah.
growing up. Half Baked. That's one or two that like kind of define your childhood a little bit. Like
Love that
I
movie.
watched Dazed and Confused and Half Baked. I don't know how many fucking times. And maybe even you throw in there to kick one more. Growing up, I mean, really, because I got to grow up with like it's hard to pick. I got, how do I not pick one Adam Sandler movie and one Jim Carrey movie?
You
like,
shouldn't have got him started.
you know what I'm saying?
Sure, Pet Detective, man. That's,
Yeah, I
that's
mean-
one of my favorite.
I mean,
movies
they
of all
each
time,
made
for sure.
they each made 10 fucking funny ass movies in a time where it was hard to make fucking movies.
Yep.
And just rattled off fucking hit after hit after hit. Some were sequels, some were new concepts, some were he was a devil and there's a guy with titties on his head and they still made it work.
Great
Like-
movie. Little Nicky is the best.
I mean,
Come
are you
on.
fucking kidding me with the shit that they made
Great
work?
movie.
Like the shit they made fucking work and were able to be in is hard to pass up. You can almost put them in. It's hard to even do their top.
I don't
5
even
movies.
feel like you can do stuff like that anymore, though, right?
But-
like
but
Little
then-
Nicky. I mean, that
but then
was,
one I always
there was
like
a
to
time,
mention.
a window that
Well,
way
Adam
could
Sandler
exist.
doesn't even.
But
do
there's
that
one
stuff
I always
anymore.
like-
Right.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
He
there
does.
you go. He's turned into more of a slapsticky kind
Eddie
of guy,
Murphy don't
know?
do his.
Yeah,
No,
well,
he
Eddie
don't.
Murphy.
No.
Eddie Murphy
It's-
took the money
It's
and ran.
terrible what they've done to comedy, man. Like I
Well,
said, last
and
true
one movie
form
I-
of expression.
One
and
movie
you
I
gotta be
always
able
want to
say
put in
what
my
you mean.
top 5 is Saving Private Ryan.
Oh wow,
It was a movie that was
Spielberg,
just
right?
so.
Is that Spielberg?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Spielberg, and it was just such a undertaking. When you look at when you can get past what you're watching as a movie to see like what directors and people that make the movies are dealing with on their end, to make a movie of that fucking scale seems incredible to me. So when someone pulls off some huge giant war movie and nails it, like there's a story too, it's not just shit blowing up.
Right.
It's like there's a lot to it. There's character building. There's characters that
Free CG too.
yeah, and
Everything
I mean
was
that
done
movie's
practically.
amazing. That movie is really one
Yeah,
of.
it's a wonderful movie.
I mean, when you're in
Hard to watch though. It's not one you watch
No.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
not.
You watch it once.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
like Schindler's List. You can't
Right.
like.
Yeah.
The opening-
Wonderful
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
One of the
I mean,
greatest
the opening
movies.
Yeah,
scene
great
made.
movie.
There's
But
opening
you're not
scene
gonna
that
watch
made
that, with your homies.
World War II
Yeah.
veterans.
Hey, you
Day.
guys want to look at get a six pack of beer, drink some fucking
watch
whiskey,
Schindler's
and watch
List.
Schindler's List?
I'm just a huge
But
Liam
when
Neeson fan.
when I talk about movies, like movies that accomplish something like that, or I mean, even though it's not a movie, like what Game of Thrones was able to
Yeah,
accomplish,
yeah.
like the mass production
Okay.
of that kind of shit it makes me in awe of.
All right,
how they
all
pull
right.
that
So,
shit off.
so this brings me to my
Yeah,
and
you're 5.
And well, I ain't even gonna do 5, but because we're running over time. But
Yeah,
but I will tell you,
time.
I will tell you
Keep
this.
watching us. We love you.
I will tell you this: Avatar, Dances with Wolves, and Last Samurai are all the
All
same
the same movie.
True.
It's all the same
That's
movie.
not-
but they're
yeah.
done well.
And that's a great
They're all good
movie.
in their own
That
way, I
concept,
agree.
I love Dances
that
with
concept
Wolves.
is classic.
Avatar's good.
and I love that
well, so is the
concept of.
Postman, and then there's Braveheart. They're all the same.
No, they're not. But what I'm talking about is I come in to fight this culture, and then I find out that actually that culture aligns more with me than my culture does, and so I'm switching teams.
Yeah.
That's the whole.
Hey, that's
the
how
whole
yeah,
vibe, right?
That's the concept of what this country was built upon.
Well, and
Same
I'm
with,
saying
we
that's
mentioned it before, but Fern Gully.
Fern Gully.
Fern
Yeah.
Gully's that same story.
Yeah.
It is true. Now it comes back around. You're starting to see. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Denim chicken.
You know, that's
Legally
not too
Blonde,
bad.
that's his favorite movie.
I know
just
Denim Chicken.
watched that
I like
for
this
the
guy.
first
And he's
time.
an asshole.
I was.
It's not a shit movie, but it's not. We're not top 5 in it.
Sorry.
I was really impressed how much I enjoyed that movie.
Is that?
The second one was awful. Don't watch
Legally
the
Blonde
second
2?
one. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't. I watched like
It's the
5
second
minutes
one's
and
no
I turned it
Sister
off.
Act 2. That's for sure.
Sister Act 2 was good. Yeah.
Both Sister Act movies are pretty good. Go. Whoopi did all right in those movies.
Color Purple is another one of my
Oh.
favorite movies.
Ooh.
Oh, really?
I like
Have you,
that
have
movie a
you
whole lot,
seen The
man.
Player? She's
So-
in that.
Yes. Oh,
So
good.
it sounds
one.
like to me that you like movies that make you feel.
That's right. That's right.
You
You,
know-
got to hit me somewhere, man.
you know-
I watch a lot of movies, and the ones I remember are the.
Are you guys
hard
rewatchers?
hitters.
Because I'll watch a movie 1,400
like
times.
that's why I love The Shining because it's rewatchable for infinite, right? Like you can
bet.
watch that a million times and still go.
I watch
I need
shit
to
I don't
watch
like
it
20
again to
times.
know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Right.
But on the topics of movies making you feel, you know, Shane taught me one of the most valuable lessons that I've ever been taught in this industry, which is movies are meant to make you feel. No, in no particular specific way, but if a movie can make you feel anyway, whether
it
that's
can
happy
manipulate you.
or exactly, if it can
Yeah.
make you happy or sad or laugh, or
Yes.
if it can make you feel, then it's done its
successful
job.
movie.
If it can manipulate your emotions in
Yeah.
a way that
I agree.
Yep.
is
And-
impactful.
And those are the best movies.
Well,
Like
and
you
that's
brought
to
up
me-
Saving
to me,
Private
yeah.
Ryan.
Well,
Private Ryan. That's a great example of a
Well,
movie that makes you feel.
And
you
I
know?
even forgot about a genre of movies that really, what Guy Ritchie did with cinema was always really fucking cool to me. I thought too, with the way
Lock,
he,
Stock.
yeah, when he started with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels on to Snatch and Way of the
Love
Gun.
Memento
Guy
was
Ritchie's
dope
great.
for me. I liked Memento.
I just really
We're not the biggest Nolan fans, I would say, but he has his moments.
Yeah,
well, he did
he's
great
pretty
with
cool.
Batman. I mean,
We're not the
He
biggest Batman.
He's no
Nolan
Tim Burton.
Batman
he
fans.
did great.
Tim
He did great with Bruce Wayne. I mean,
Oh yeah, I'll
he
give
picked
you
the best
that.
Bruce Wayne.
Robert Pattinson isn't a little tiny Batman.
Hey, Robert Pattinson's great. That
Yeah.
movie's
That
great.
movie's
we
fucking
love
retarded.
We what? Wait, more
Sorry,
whiskey.
did I not? I did
More
not.
That's it. More whiskey. Okay, here we go.
I did not use this. I regret the word.
Keep those fucking
retarded there.
cameras
I'm sorry.
rolling, Annie.
If you would ever put Batman in a room with 50 cops, they would just tackle him and take his mask off. That movie was ridiculous. He would ride around as Bruce Wayne on his motorcycle, but would be Batman in every room that he was in. You don't just let there's not enough people that support Batman that would just let him walk around.
Not
fucking
in that
crime
one.
scenes
He was
as
up on like,
Batman.
the 5th floor.
I
of
don't
the
think that
cop
me and
shop.
Shane have enough time to get into.
No, I like I
Nolan's
like some of the
Batman
movie.
films.
I like some of the movie. It was a nice change. It was some cool things, but you can't just walk around as Batman, dude. People would be like, "Bro, like we're gonna tackle you and take your mask off because we're tired of not knowing who Batman is." Like you're literally in a room of 50 people,
And they all hate you. They all hate you.
They all dislike you, but one guy. There's only one guy that likes you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit ridiculous.
Hey, but that one guy, was that Gary Oldman?
No, it was the guy from
No, it was,
Western from the guy from the robot show.
He's great though.
He is great.
He's wonderful.
He's
Gary Oldman's like my favorite actor ever, but
I don't mind.
Gary
him.
Oldman's
That's
great.
well, he was great as
he was in a fucking Batman.
Sa-
Right? I'm not tripping out, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
Commissioner Gordon.
he was Commissioner
Yeah, he was-
Gordon
no,
in
no,
all
but
the
it was
Nolan
Not in
films.
the Batman. in the
Nolan
Nolan
films.
films.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
he
Nolan
was the
films,
best
yeah.
part
And
of
the
those
Batman
movies.
was the guy that plays the Watcher's voice in.
Yeah, but he's in
What
that.
If.
He's in that movie where the people are in that
got me
show on
so
HBO
drunk.
where it's about robotics.
Yeah.
The Westworld.
Westworld.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
he's in that show.
Westworld,
And you don't know
yes.
you don't know he's a goddamn robot forever. You're like, God damn it, he's a robot too, son of a bitch.
They're all robots.
It's like Battlestar Galactica. If you never watched that shit, that's
Oh,
good. That's good.
absolutely.
Battlestar Galactica's goddamn good TV. If you've never
Jeffrey
watched that.
Wright. Jeffrey Wright
There you go,
plays.
there you go.
Yeah,
If you've
Commissioner
anybody
Gordon.
who's never
He's
watched the
wonderful.
new
He's
rendition
great.
of Battlestar Galactica is missing out on maybe the best sci-fi story ever written.
20
Okay,
years old
real
now.
quick though, favorite actor, best actor.
Oh,
Gary Oldman.
Denzel
I already
Washington.
said-
I love
already
that.
said Gary
Denzel
Oldman.
Washington.
Denzel's for me.
Love that answer. What's your
Denzel
favorite
for me.
Denzel performance?
Man, like kind of a couple of cheap ones, like Pelham 1, 2, 3 is amazing. in.
Really? Love
Like
that
there's
movie.
there's a one where he's
he's
got
like
a
the
lot of
pilot.
dialogue.
Do you like the one where he's a pilot?
Flight.
Where he's
is his
drink?
name?
Where he's
where he's
drinking. He's an
drunk, yeah.
alcoholic. Love that movie.
There's a few of them where he's just got a lot of dialogue.
He's
that
so
I like.
good.
I like him a lot.
He's so good.
I
Shane,
really like him in the Magnificent Seven, which is even a goofy ass movie for him too. Even.
Maybe Nicolas Cage.
Nick
Oh, get out of
Cage.
here. Get out of here.
I love Nick.
They're
Cage.
about to do Face Off too. I think.
Oh man, please! You better bring back
We're
John
gonna have
Woo.
to cut cameras here pretty soon on that one.
No one's gonna.